Hey guys, Chris here from the Smart Author Podcast. In this episode, I wanted to talk to you about why you probably shouldn't write your book if you're making less than $30,000 a month. All right, so I'm just going to straight up say that this episode is only for my business owner friends out there. And it's actually stemmed from a Facebook post that I made. Now, the context of this is that I'm only talking about people who want to write a book to promote or be used as an asset, a marketing tool for their business. So if that's not you, then you can probably just stop watching this episode, because what my thoughts are may just not gel with you. They may actually hurt your perception of me as a person, but it's okay. We're allowed different opinions on matters in the world. And I really think it's good to have different opinions and even conversation around this. So if you have different thoughts to me, let me know down below. Anyway, so not writing a book until you're at $30,000 a month. Here is my thoughts on this. Every single one of my clients that I work with, they spend roughly $3,000 a month on ads. Usually, my service fee is on top of that. So let's just say $5,000 a month on a campaign in total. And so $5,000 a month, or let's just say $3,000 to $5,000 a month, is a lot of money for people who are only making $30,000 as an example. So anyone who's making less than $30,000 is going to have even worse of a time, or even a harder time, trying to part ways with that amount of money, unless of course they're making a direct ROI. Now, the caveat obviously is that most people won't make a direct ROI on their book. And I would say 95% of self-published authors, that's including you, will not make a direct ROI on your book. Now, if we set up a sales funnel, we put some upsell offers into the sales funnel, then there's a potential for us to offset or alleviate our ad spend almost to break even, and sometimes in, let's say that 10 to 15% range, profitable, right? But I would not go in with the perception that that's possible for you. I would rather you go into running and marketing your book with the perception of, let's use this money and let's just have it as a marketing budget. Now, for anyone under 30 grand a month, that's a lot of money for a marketing budget. And so it's going to be very hard to justify. As a natural, progression or follow on of those steps, if you don't have that money that you can just put into the ethers to market and sell your book, then you're ultimately going to be holding back the success that your book could have, in my opinion. If you don't have that money to use on marketing your book, then it's not going to actually be an effective asset for your business. Now, furthermore, and what I really think is the key to the $30,000 a month mark, is if you're not making 30 grand a month in your business, then you likely do not have an offer that your core business sells that is converting consistently and making you consistent business. So with that in mind, a book is probably not going to actually be a useful asset for your business. So if I paint a picture here for you, let's just say Bob on one hand. Bob is a coach. He's got a coaching program, and he's still doing posting in social media groups. He's still going out and giving value. He's still connecting with people and DMing them about how he can potentially help. And he's doing a lot of that groundwork. Bob doesn't have any team members. And so Bob's basically hustling his way to scrounging together about 10 grand a month in revenue. So should Bob in this example write a book? No, probably not. Bob is already very busy in his business doing a lot of the startup things like lead gen and selling, and that's fine. Bob will naturally progress as his revenue grows. He'll be able to bring on team members. As his revenue grows, he'll be able to put in effective lead generation strategies. But a book probably won't be that high on Bob's priority list, right? So let me look at Susan on the other hand. Yeah, Susan is already making $30,000 a month. Susan actually has the same coaching offer, but Susan is running ads to a VSL, a webinar, some sort of training on the front end that she's actually automating the lead generation for her business. Susan actually has some team members who help with sales. She actually has a team member that helps with running her ads. And Susan has some people who help with, potentially the administration side of her business. Maybe Susan, if she's only doing 30 grand a month, only has, those 4 core team members at the moment. Susan is probably in a better position to write a book to use as a different lead generation and value add to enroll people into her core business offer, her coaching program, right? And even in this example, like Susan's maybe even too small to write a book in this example. Because at the end of the day, a book is essentially a way for you to build authority, yes, become standout in your industry, yes, but it's also a way for you to give extreme value up front and lead generation for your core business in the examples that I'm talking about here. Obviously, it's not all examples. And for those people who are listening to this and they're going, I don't even want to write a book for my business. I want to write a book as a memoir. I want to write a book as a whatever. Then go ahead and do that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. Like I'm saying if you're a business owner and you want to write a book for your business, then you should actually have a business that's at a level that needs a book. Because there's a lot of other cheaper, easier front-end lead generation assets that you can put into your business that don't take a lot of your time to develop. A book is not like something that you can just pull out of your ass in a week or two. Like a book is something that can take some time. You have to really think about what your book can do for you. You have to think about how it will help people. You have to brainstorm on a lot of different things to get a book together. And then marketing a book is actually not that simple. I know I make it look easy, but it's not that simple. And it's very easy if you get to overcomplicate the process, generally speaking. You can simplify the process to make marketing a book simple, but in most cases, unless you're a specialist like I am, you're probably going to have a little bit of a harder time doing so. And so that's really why I think you should wait until you're at least $30,000 a month in revenue to write a book. And before then, it's really just going to be too much time investment. That's probably not a priority for you to do. And you likely do not have the core business operations, selling, all of those things in place where your business can actually sustain a book itself. And so not only, again, you're spending a lot of time and or money writing the book, your business isn't operationally and functionally sound enough to sell, promote, utilize a book. And then you probably don't have enough marketing budget set aside for you to be able to throw away to market your book and get new leads into your business. So whilst I do think a book is probably the best thing you can do to get really good leads for your business, to build your authority, to give value back to the marketplace, unless you're at that level, I really just don't recommend it. Like I've, had other people like Scott Alford who say you shouldn't even be writing a book until you're at least $1 million in revenue. And in most cases, I actually tend to agree with Scott. I think you should probably wait until you're at that $80-something thousand a month before you need to warrant even writing a book. So I'm going to wrap this episode here. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you agree? Do you not agree? I'd love to hear from you. And if you're not already, I'd love if you could subscribe to the podcast. It would mean the world to me. And come back, enjoy some of my other episodes. I'm trying to really demystify marketing books and getting an effective use out of the book that you may have or may not have just yet. So I'll see you on the next episode.